Hello, everyone, and welcome to Toku Portal Podcast. I'm Ryan. With me is
Decade, and today we're talking about Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger, episode 20. So, Kureon creates a Minosaur from an artist, but is surprised at what he sees. Asuna, Toa, and Ko are sparring with Melto, observing. Melto says that speed won't always solve Toa's problems. Of course, Toa thinks he's wrong, deities will change in fight. Toa thinks he's winning, but he's actually led into a corner. Melta explains that without his speed advantage, he's helpless, and he should use his head more. Thoughts?
uh, so I'll talk more about the Minosaur later, but that sparring session was really good. It's nice to see the out of suit actors go through the motions of fighting and such. And you can even see them mimicking certain techniques that they use in suit as well. Uh, like at one point, Asuna makes a mad dash for a nearby blunt object to just throw at Ko, and the pose that she made, that looks like a standard Sentai "I'm running at you" pose. Uh, as for Melto criticizing Toa, I'm not saying Melto is wrong because he does have a point that Toa should think a bit more about what he's doing than not at all. With that being said, Melto is an interesting execution of the emotionless, more logical character in that he doesn't realize how rude he sounds. Like, he doesn't realize how he's coming off. So, even though he has a point, you just instinctively want him to be wrong just because he feels like he's being rude about it, even though he's probably not intending to be.
Yep. It's a pretty interesting dynamic. So, Kreon shows Waizuru the new sketchbook Minosaur. Waizuru draws a candle, and one appears in front of him. So he loves it. And then we get the open. So, Toa is walking with Bamba. He's still frustrated about the training. This young boy is looking for his older brother. Bamba notices Creon's slime on the sketchbook he's holding. Bamba takes off. Toa follows, but he stops to reassure the boy that they'll find his older brother. Kind of a nice moment. So while they're looking, of course, some grunts show up. Ryusoulger change in fight. Green rushes into the warehouse and finds the older brother, but a cage falls on him and he disappears. And the others get trapped as well.
So, the Minosaur being an inanimate object is really interesting because up till now, every Minosaur has been your standard monster of the week. It's been a living, sentient creature that acts on its own. But here you have just an actual object, a tool that needs someone else to use it. There's also when Toa and Banba approach the lost kid, then they just immediately realize what's going on. Bamba, dedicated to his mission to defeat all Minosaurs, is ready to just take off. And I do like the touch that Toa is the one that stops and realizes, goes back to reassure the kid that they would find his brother. Which works because it was just the two of them there. If Ko was there, the first thing he would have said would have been, "Oh, we'll find your brother for you." Uh, but, it's an interesting dynamic that Toa, remembers to think about the kid and, "Oh, don't worry, we'll find your brother." Especially since Toa's probably has that thought in his head about, "Well, what if I lost my brother?"
Yep. He's definitely come a long way. So, yeah, basically, they're tiny now, and the cages are tiny as well. I guess because that's how they were drawn. And of course, Crayon is taunting them. Toa dodges another cage. It's Waizuru, but can't really do much, so Waizuru just leaves him for now. So Toa thinks to look for Kanalo with this street portrait artist lady who's just doing her job. And Waizuru actually follows Toa. Pretty clever. So he draws another cage over the artist lady. Kanalo rushes to push her out of the way. We get some cheesy Heisei drama music in the background. And she just backs up, and Kanalo gets trapped. So Toa just flees with her.
Yeah, like this is good because it's like they're not forgetting about Kanalo, like his mission. Uh, they're not overplaying it either. They are just like leaving it there. It's like, yeah, this is happening, and oh hey, here's how it happens to come up this time. Uh, just how serious he is with trying to impress her, and just how not caring about him she is an interesting dynamic because you can clearly tell, like he's walking a road that's not going to go anywhere in this one. Uh, uh, the the cheesy like drama music though, like that was all great because anyone could know like how that was gonna play out, and just the way it does, and just how kind of like unconcerned she kind of is. Like she's not uncaring. It's just like she's not freaking out or panicking or anything. And then after Toa does rescue her, she's just like, "All right, thanks," and then walks off. Like this has nothing to do with me anymore.
Yep. At least he had more of a chance at this one than he did last week. If only we had met sooner.
He learned his lesson. Look for the rings.
Yep. So let's see. Kanalo gets trapped. Toa isn't confident that he can win alone when Guy Sorg appears before him. And he doesn't recognize Guy Sorg, so I'm guessing this is before Psycho Battle crossover. But Guy Sorg.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
I thought this was after because
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that took place when they were Toa and Mom were traveling on their own before the other three graduated.
Yeah. Well, either they messed up, or we could say that.
Like he doesn't know who this one is.
Or this.
Because
No,
like
no,
before
yeah.
before in the Psycho battle, it was Rita wearing the armor, right?
Yeah.
And she was defeated. So naturally, it's like, all right, that's done with. And so this guy shows up, and it's like, who is this guy? It's not. It's not that witch. A bit of a stretch, but you can make the argument that Toa is legitimately confused about who this is, regardless of the armor that they're wearing.
Yeah.
Because the one
Movie,
person
'cause-
that he knew was wearing it, it's like, it's not them.
Yeah. But I've seen Guy Sorg in the movie trailers too, so it'll be interesting.
And, oh, the movie took place before this episode by now, I'm sure.
I guess. I don't know. Or maybe not.
Maybe not, I don't know. But,
That's Sentai movies for you. So, yeah, Guy Sorg shows up. Apparently, Guy Sorg knows the brothers. He attacks, but he's kind of teaching Green a lesson. He tells Green not to rely on strength, but to wield it.
don't
Basically.
use it as a crutch.
Yeah. But Toa remembers that Bamba told him something similar that their master told Bamba. So that's interesting. Crayon taunts Shotaro, the older brother, to make the Minosaur giant. And this is a fun part. With a giant sketchbook, Waizuru draws himself. So a giant Waizuru
This
is
is the
born.
best part of the episode.
Yeah. Of course, right off the bat, they start complimenting each other.
Like, I was confused at first. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen with the Minosaur? Like, it's not. It's just a sketchbook. Like, how's it gonna grow giant? It's like, oh, it just grows giant like any other Minosaur. It's comically large now. And then he just draws on it. Draws himself on it. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and personality intact as well. Oa kind of loses hope, but he sees the boy desperately looking for his older brother. More good background music. Toa finds his resolve and desperately thinks of a plan. So, Toa appears before the Waizurus. He uses his speed to reach the giant sketchbook and draw something, but he gets knocked back, surrenders, and is trapped with the others. But he immediately tosses them keys to their cages that he drew on the sketchbook. Pretty clever.
Yeah. I love how he drew one key, but he still got like 6.
Yeah. And he didn't get a giant key. Well, I guess he didn't draw him giant.
Maybe it's more like what you intend rather than what you physically draw. Just in case you know the user Wizero ended up being like a really bad artist. But
Yeah, his
that
cat
would
just
never
didn't look
happen
that
because
great.
he's the greatest of the greatest.
Yeah. It's because he didn't lift his little visor thing up. So the knights appear before or behind Waizuru. They roll call and change, kick butt with power ups as usual, but they actually use some strategy, so it's pretty cool. They destroy the sketchbook and the giant Waizuru. And of course, Waizuru is heartbroken. But
Uh,
Ui, her dad. Oh, any thoughts?
the roll call was really good. Like, I don't know what warranted getting a special one like we got here, but like I really liked it.
Just cause slow mo is great. Yeah, and the little effect of like it's very brief, but all the knights are surrounding like a castle tower. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Um. So yeah, Ui, her dad, and the three knights are having a takoyaki party, and of course Melto gets the secret super spicy one.
Oh right,
So,
I guess there was that as well.
but more important stuff. Toa asks Bamba about Gaisorg, but Bamba doesn't have any answers for them, even though something is clearly on his mind. And
It's
Toa
because
isn't happy about that. Gives a very nasty look.
I think the implication is that like okay, hold on. Let me figure out how to phrase this. So, first off, their master is clearly Guy Sorg. They made that obvious earlier, but now they've confirmed it. Uh, Bamba doesn't has reason to not believe that their master would be here. That or no, not that, not that. That specific advice came from their master. Uh, so it's weird to Bamba that like anyone else would be saying like that specific thing of, oh hey, don't use strength as a crutch, like wield it. especially coming from Guy Sorg. In fact, maybe like they do remember Guy Sorg, and so the idea that like this random guy could be their master, it's like maybe that's the confusion.
Yeah, like their master disappeared, and then he's the one who picked up the Guy Sorg helmet after they defeated
Rita.
her slash it. Yeah, and they did imply. Well, it was pretty obvious, not even an implication, but when the Prime Minister lady was talking to Guy Sorg and said, "You used to be a hero," blah blah blah. So, yeah, next episode preview looks pretty interesting as well. Definitely not filler.
Uh, just see what the next episode preview is again, real quick.
It's about that masked guy.
Oh, right. The some masked stranger shows up.
And he
Yes,
showed up earlier, but he didn't do anything.
he did.
Yeah, he showed up when Bomba and Toa were training,
Oh,
but
he was
he
the
didn't.
one that talked to them.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever happened to that? I guess we're finally gonna find out.
exactly. Oh, we're 20 episodes in, so stuff should get more interesting. Although the comedy has been pretty great.
Yeah, the show has been doing a really good job. Uh,
Yep, this was a good episode. Any other final thoughts?
no, I pretty much said all that I wanted to. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. Sorry this was a short one. We'll be back tomorrow with Kamen Rider Zio and Thursday for more Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
Yep, thanks for listening.